The wait may nearly be over for all of us who want to see a redhead emoji on our mobile phones. Unicode, the company that curates the emoji, says redheads will be available in emoji form from June 2018 after the organisation's emoji subcommittee recommended 67 new characters. They include emoji for those with bald heads, curly hair, and silver foxes will be represented with a white-haired character. Let's talk to Fred Benenson, a social media analyst and emoji expert who self-published the first entirely emoji translation of the classic novel Emoji Dick. We'll talk about the novel in a moment, Fred. Why has it taken so long to get a redhead on the list?
It probably has to do with the fact that emoji came from Japan, and as far as I know, there aren't a lot of redheaded Japanese people. Around the world, I think I just looked up, it was like 1% to 2% of the population, which is actually like hundreds of millions of people. But I think as emoji have become more mainstream and more prevalent in more cultures, people are more interested in diversifying it so that it's more representative. And, you know, it takes a while to get new emoji into the system. So, you know, I'm glad they're finally doing it. Yeah, I'm not a redhead, but...
No, we noticed. We thought we might have a redhead guest, but no, a brunette. That's fine. Tell us about the process then, because I'm fascinated by this subcommittee that gets to decide what the rest of us get to use. How does it work?
So Unicode is a standards body that's kind of a volunteer nonprofit organization that comes up with emoji, everything from emoji to the normal characters that are used by operating systems to show simple letters like the letter A. But it turns out showing letters is really complicated, and they ended up being responsible for emoji because it needs to be shown by computers too. So there's a subcommittee inside Unicode which decides on the future of emoji. And they listen to proposals and they hear people out on which new emoji should enter the system.
We're going to end up with too many in the end, aren't we?
I'm a little worried about that too. I mean, right now it's like 50 or 60 per year, and it's already hundreds to kind of keep track of on your phone, and it's getting a little overwhelming. So I agree.
I think it can be very expensive, I'm told, if you've got your phone on the wrong setting to send them. I have to confess, Fred, I have never used an emoji, and I don't imagine I ever will. What am I missing out on? What am I missing out on?
I think it's just a unique way to express yourself that's not text. I think our lives are so mediated with text. It's so easy to just write LOL and feel like you're conveying an emotion, but it's just 3 letters, whereas an emoji has a little bit more character, a little bit of more emotion. There's a face there sometimes. So I think if you're into being a little non-literal, it can be great. And so that's why I like them.
What's the most favourite one in the world? Is it possible to tell?
Yeah, a friend of mine runs a website called emojitracker.com, which lists which emojis are the most popular on Twitter. And so that kind of gives us an idea of which are the most popular ones. And for a while, I think it was just the smiley face or maybe the heart emoji, but it has since switched to the joy emoji, which is like laughing and crying with tears, like I'm so happy I'm crying emoji. I think that's still #1.
Yes, I get sent that a lot. I don't know whether to be pleased or perturbed. I must ask you then about your translation of, I'm assuming it's Moby Dick into Emoji Dick. Can anybody read it irrespective of the language that they speak?
Well, I included the English side by side the emoji, so you can kind of compare and contrast like how somebody tried to represent a given Melville sentence into emoji. I would say it's not very readable in emoji form. I did it as kind of an experiment to see how far you could push emoji and like what the limitations were on making a whole novel in emoji. And you know, there's some other artists who have done better jobs of making novels purely in symbols, but it was more like an experiment of this thing that had just kind of shown up on my phone. And it turns out that, you know, I was a little ahead of the time. I mean, I did that in 2009, 2010, and emoji kept on getting bigger. And so people are still talking about it. But I kind of just did it as a fun, weird art project rather than a literal translation of Moby Dick into emoji.
And the plural of emoji is?
I think it's emoji.
Is
It's
it?
kind of like data, single and plural. Maybe I don't know. Not particular.
Like sheep and fish. I'm sure there are emojis for both. Fred Benenson,
Or
it's
both.
been fascinating talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me on. It was a pleasure.
It's our pleasure too. Thank you. I suppose I should do that, shouldn't I? I don't know. I find that standard punctuation and straightforward English is perfectly adequate. The wait may nearly be over for all of us who want to see a red-haired emoji on our mobile phones. Unicode, the company that curates the emoji, says redheads will be available in emoji form from June 2018 after the organisation's emoji subcommittee recommended 67 new characters. They include emoji for those with bald heads, curly hair, and silver foxes will be represented with a white-haired character. Let's speak to artist and creative Chris Oxenbury, who's known as Oxy. He caught the imagination of the emoji world when he helped to create characters for the older generation. Chris, first of all, tell us then how you got involved in that project to better reflect older people.
So basically what it was, there was a lady from Coventry called Diane Hill who decided that there wasn't enough emojis. She couldn't relate to the emojis that she was using. So she wanted to create a set of emojis that could relate to her age range. There were sort of things like memory pills, grandparent duty, and all that sort of something for the older generation that they could relate to. So they called upon me to design them, and we created this whole set of emojis, which were brilliant.
So how much of a departure is this, though, from your normal art?
Well, usually I'm doing like bespoke comic strips and all sorts. So to go into doing emojis was quite fun. It was quite different, and it was really good. We got some really positive feedback from it because there is a need for the older generation and, of course, ginger people as well.
Indeed. How excited are you about that? It seems to me a baffling array these days of emojis to choose from.
Yeah, well, I think diversity is really important. My friend Mark, who's a ginger, he's going to be so happy. And he's also given birth to another ginger as well, so that's brilliant. So congratulations to them.
Yes, I'm glad that they'll feel that they're well reflected on our mobile phones. What's happening, though, to your submissions?
So basically, we've missed the submission for Unicode at the moment, but we are going to push that forward later on. So hopefully we can get some older generation emojis going out there as well.
How clear is it, though, what they're looking for and whether you're likely to get approval?
Well, it's just taking a chance and seeing what happens. I think there is a definite need for it. And as I say, the emojis are absolutely brilliant because they are the modern-day hieroglyphic, aren't they? It's better than Snake that we used to have back in the day on the old Nokias.
Yes, it's a little more sophisticated, isn't it?
Exactly.
But is there money to be made in creating emojis?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know if there's money to be made, but there's going to be a lot of fun for people out there using them. And as I say, making it more acceptable for older generation, blacks, white, yellows, all sorts of people. It's going to be a nice world with the old emojis.
What's your favourite?
My favourite emoji is I've got to admit, the laughing with tears in the eyes.
Yes,
I like that one.
Apparently that's the most favourite one in the whole world.
I love that one.
Do you?
It's absolutely superb.
It always makes me wonder that I've said something I shouldn't have said when I get that in reply.
Yeah, but if you use it with a question mark, that's quite cool as well.
But no full stops these days. I understand teenagers don't like full stops. They're a bit aggressive.
Are they?
Yes,
Okay.
apparently so. So I'm reliably informed by my
Well, I've
my
learned
own
something
teenagers.
new there.
I'm glad we aim to educate. Chris Oxenbury, known as Oxy, thank you very much for talking to us tonight.
Thank you very much for having me.
We would struggle without full stops on autocue, I can tell you.